and this is gonna be my playoff bracket. Who I think is gonna make it to the Super Bowl? Who I think is gonna win every game? And first off, we're gonna start with the AC bracket. I already gave my picks for that. It hasn't changed so far. So I have Cincinnati winning over Pittsburgh, Kansas City winning over Houston. That means that New England will play Pittsburgh. Kansas City will play. Wait, no, that's not right. Oh yeah, no, it's not right. um, New England will play Kansas City, and Denver will play Pittsburgh. So New England versus Kansas City. I'm going to pick Kansas City because New England has been battling injuries. Kansas City has Jamal Charles injured, but he's been injured for the whole season. They have found ways to win. They went on an 11 game win, or not 11, I think like 10 or 11 actually. Yeah, maybe 11. 10 or 11 game winning streak, and they have been cooking on offense. The running back is putting in work. I forgot who the running back is, but he's been carrying the load on with them. And the receiving core has also been working. They've been putting in work, and it's just gonna work out for Kansas City. New England, Tom Brady has a sprained ankle, but I don't think it can affect them that much. But their running game, I believe like Eric Blunt is injured actually, and I just believe that like Kansas City has the upper hand versus New England. They they've been stumbling a lot in the past couple games, and they're not going to be able to beat Kansas City. I don't think their defense. Also, New England's defense is playing below average, or average, I guess. They've been playing well, but not as well as we used to seeing. So it's not going to work in their favor. And we have Denver versus Pittsburgh. I believe that Denver is going to win. Also, don't think it matters who's going to be at quarterback. No, yeah, it does. It doesn't. Well, no, it matters. Hey Manning, I think that he should be the starting quarterback, and that if he is, and he plays as well as I think he should play, then they're going to be able to beat Pittsburgh. Um, Pittsburgh, they're going to be able to beat Cincinnati, but they lost their running back in Le'Veon Bell, and they lost the second string running back in D'Angelo Williams. That's what it is, and they've also their defense. They've been playing decent, but not as much as we've been used to in years past. And Ben Roethlisberger, he's been throwing a couple interceptions, but I think he's gonna get it together for the playoffs. So pretty much at the moment, all they have is a receiving core. Um, who knows? Maybe the running game will get started. Whoever they end up putting in the backfield, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat Denver. Their defense is also playing really well. Denver's defense is also playing really well, and their secondary is gonna lock down. I don't know about lockdown, but they're gonna limit Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, and keep them from winning the game as Denver offense will score more points because Pittsburgh's offense is gonna have a tougher time with Denver's defense than Denver's offense is going to have against Pittsburgh's defense. So it's going to be. I don't even know if they're gonna get started on offense. Honestly, it might be a blowout, but it might be a close game too. We'll see how Pittsburgh offense handles it. But I don't think they're going to be able to win. So then that means that we have Denver versus Kansas City, and that's a tough one. I think Denver is going to be able to handle it though, because their offense, if they get Peyton Manning back and he plays as well as they hope for him to, and as well as I hope for him to, then Denver will be able to beat Kansas City just because they have players everywhere. They have consistent players everywhere, and it's not going to be a problem for them to get points. It's not going to be a problem for their defense to stay on top. It's just not. It's gonna be a close game. Don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be a Denver win. So I have Denver going to the Super Bowl this year, as of right now. Don't forget that I'm gonna come out with videos every week. If my plans change, or just to recap what my plans were. All right, so going to the NFC bracket, you have. I told you guys I think Green Bay is going to beat Washington. Seattle is going to beat Minnesota. So that means that Green Bay is going to play Arizona, and Seattle is going to play Carolina. So we're going to start with Arizona and Green Bay. I believe the Cardinals are going to win. We've seen it in the regular season. The last time they played, Cardinals just destroyed them, and I feel like it's gonna be pretty, maybe not as much of a blowout, but it's gonna be a lopsided win, maybe 2-3 scores for Arizona. So and that's just because they're playing a lot better. Aaron Rodgers has been missing a couple wide open passes. It happened versus Seattle, not Seattle versus versus Minnesota last week on Sunday Night Football, and he missed a couple wide open passes. He missed somebody in the end zone, which would have sent them to overtime, perhaps because there's only a couple minutes left, I think, or a couple seconds. So yeah, he's not going to be able to do it versus Arizona, especially Arizona's defense. So I have Arizona winning that game, and then they're going to play the winner of Carolina and Seattle. I believe that Carolina will be able to beat them. I just believe that because also their offense is just playing a lot better than Seattle's defense. Carolina's defense is playing a lot better. I'm not gonna say that. I'll say that they're playing better, not a lot better. They're playing a little bit better than Seattle's offense. If Marshawn Lynch comes back and plays like he's predicted to, or not predicted to, but plays like he was before he left, or last season, better. He might be able to he's going to get some yards versus Carolina's defense, not because of their defense as a whole, but because of their defensive line. Maybe not a lot of yards because their linebacking core is phenomenal, but he's not going to be able to get as much yards as he would versus other teams. So that's going to slow them down a little bit. Russell Wilson, he isn't my favorite quarterback, I'm not going to lie. And I say that because offensively, during key situations, he tends to scramble and try and make plays by himself, and he ends up usually running backwards. If there's nothing there, he usually ends up running backwards, running in circles, and sometimes he gets away with it. Sometimes he makes a play, and sometimes it just gets them 25, 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which is definitely not what I like to see in quarterbacks. If they do intend to run, then they need to run forward and not backwards. And sometimes they even get lucky on key situations versus last year versus the Packers in the NFC Championship. They were going for two, and he snapped it. He started to run circles, threw it up across his body to a wide open person, and he made the catch. And not even too wide open. It looks like he just threw it up. He didn't even look really over there. He just threw it up because he thought that he knew who the person was going to be, and he found the ball and he jumped up and caught it and found the end zone, and they ended up getting the W in that game. That was late in the game as well. Also, he started off with one of the worst quarterback ratings in NFL history for the first half. Or no, it was actually he had a zero quarterback rating in the first half. So